This is the first petrol station between Waterford and Dublin when they sold petrol for 8 halfpenny a gallon. They no longer sell petrol or diesel, but they do have a charging point for electric cars. And it all started here in the village of the Royal Oak in County Carlow, where up at the top of the hill you had Mattys Pub. Across the road and down a bit from that you had Brennan's monumental sculptures. And then in the centre you had Mattys Pub and Shop, also known as Mattys. And then they built a lounge onto that, but that's no longer there, so we'll get back to that. Beside the Royal Oak Tavern then we had the local village hall and Paddy Donahue's famous bicycle repair shop. And then across the road from that we had Tom R's shop, which sold the best Chester cakes in all of Ireland. I'm going in now to have a chat with Matt to see what it takes to keep a pub going for over 100 years. Matt!
What?
This pub has been here for 3 generations and over 100 years, is that right?
At least my 3 generations of my family, my father and my father's father, obviously, which came from Kilkenny. And they came from Frainstown, from Kilkenny. So my great-grandfather came from Kilkenny, one of the main streets. I went back a bit far, but you know what I know about that's only family history.
And what changes do you remember? Like when I growing up here, I remember the pub and the shop being all the one, and then the lounge was built.
In about 1972 or 3 or 4, I have the newspaper clipping in there. I'll give it to you before you go, and you can have a look at it. And then my father told I had it since 1950s. There was a big hotel across the road, which was knocked in the late 50s, we think. I don't know, Joe knows, but in and around there anyway. And all the stagecoaches went for there, you know, the Balcony stagecoaches. All the history's on the website.
So it's a huge hub, actually, here, a very important juncture between...
There was 3 or 4 people, 100 people living in the village before Bangstown ever came into existence. So that's a fair one, yeah. So I just read. Now I'm no historian. Look it up. I'm no good at that kind of stuff. So
and then you took it over, and you had the pub and the lounge at that time, and then you made huge changes to the lounge.
Only 6 years ago, yeah. I see the pub trade going worse and worse. Like you know, a pub is closed nearly every day in Ireland. Small country pubs, because they don't really care about those. But anyway, so we've done a lot of changes. You have to go with the flow. Built a few apartments, and they are flying it. So that's our main. Well, it's not our main business, but we're very busy today again. As you can see, the sweat is rolling off me, cleaning the sheets every day. Not complaining.
So it went from a pub and a small shop to a pub and a lounge to a small pub and 2 or 3 big apartments and a big car park for camper vans and for car parks, and a lovely tidy pub here.
Yeah, the pub is getting smaller and smaller every year, and if the boys warned, if they stop coming in, I'll turn it into my apartment. So have the heating system all set up ready to go.
So we have a success story going back over 100 years, and
yeah, and it's flying. I can't complain. Everyone knows everyone here, and when someone comes in, I guess say from Italy or something, they can't believe how friendly people are, because everybody knows who are you, what do you do. You know what I mean? So it's a great family moves. And there was a guy from South America here last week, Luis, but you don't know his name, so he pulled out the guitar and we had a great set. So he had a great time. So now we've his number in America, so and he's someplace football. But we get that regularly here now with guests coming in, and you have great crack with them. They come in and they're looking at you, really afraid to talk to you. In an hour we have them eating over hand, talking and drinking. So it's great.
Isn't that the whole thing about good Irish pubs, when you can generate conversation and stories out of absolutely nothing, and then by an hour's time everything is absolutely flowing. Matt, great to talk to you. I have fond memories of coming here in the 60s and 70s when you could buy bread and milk and beer and drink and petrol and paraffin oil for the tilly lamp across the road. Actually, great memories. Great to see you. Great to see it as a success, and definitely be back in for a few more chats very soon. Thanks, Matt.
Welcome.